We just did a wonderful show called Dylan Goes Hollywood. Rachel Warby, our artistic director, curated a beautiful show with a 12-piece choir, a full band, three wonderful, amazing dancers. And we talked a lot about the influence that Dylan had in Hollywood and on films. So I'm going to introduce you to our guest artists today because I'm so happy they're here with us, direct from the stage. This is Damon Zick, and he is one of our musicians. And we have Kitty McNamee, and she is our choreographer. The first song we asked her to do was Boots of Spanish Leather. Were you very familiar with this song, Kitty?
I was not that familiar with the song. I listened to a lot of Bob Dylan songs, and I really liked the story of that one. There was some sense of repetition and mystery.
So Kitty, you said that you had a very specific gesture that you started with.
Yeah, I started with 4 gestures for Carissa. That was Carissa dancing. And she did them at the beginning of the piece, and then Derek did it at the end, the same gestures. I was thinking about the song and the letter, so I started with Carissa bringing down a pen or pencil, and then she was writing. I asked her to write the word love. So she was writing the word love on an imaginary piece of paper. And then she was kind of like, this was kind of like having a secret. And then she let the secret go. And then she sort of cleared the whole space away. And then this was more like traveling on the ocean. And that gesture took her to Derek. So you're just going to reach up and grab a pen or pencil and bring it down to your desk or an imaginary desk. And then just in the air, write the word love. And then you're going to cover your mouth like you have a secret. And then it's just going to kind of roll up your face. And then you let the secret go. And then you just wipe off the table. And then this is like the ocean. And then that takes you to Derek. Yeah. Yeah.
When you saw it, maybe it resonated with you, but you hadn't really thought about all the little details, like every little detail thought about and why it's there and how it gets you there. And I think it's really kind of amazing.
On this concert, I had 2 instruments I was playing. I got to play some of my clarinet.
Another piece you did for us, Knocking on Heaven's Door. You guys all know that song, Knocking on Heaven's Door?
Did anyone count how many different notes were in that one? So there's only 4 notes in there. Typically, the tenor saxophone is often used in rock and roll as a solo instrument.
I know Rachel loves your choreography specifically for the storytelling. Did you feel like there was a lot of pressure in how to tell the story through the movement?
Yes, and I feel that a big part of that was because the songs are so popular. So there's more pressure. Ironically, we got inspiration from the lyrics, but in the performance, we were really focused on the music. on the
Yeah.
shape of the music. So that kind of helped free us up a bit.
So there's a piece that we did in our show that you both got to work on.
It was one called The Simple Twist of Fate. So let me play a little bit of that. So in that you can hear a little more pull. There's some what we call leading tones that really pull through the melody. It goes from this top note and it kind of pulls you through.
For the dancers to be able to perform live, but to be able to perform with live musicians is very rare. I mean, how exciting is it just to listen to him now on Zoom? You can imagine, like, with them playing right behind you and you're dancing along with them. It just gives you goosebumps. It's so much fun.
Maybe talk a little bit about how you choreographed this piece, and did you pay attention to those solo moments that perhaps someone like Damon would do, or were you strictly listening to the story?
With this one, it was interesting because we didn't have a singer. We had somebody reading the lyrics like a poem. So I told the dancers just to listen to the music in the performance so they wouldn't get lost. For this, I decided to teach the dancers all the same choreography so they knew the same phrases. And then I played with them doing it by themselves or doing it in unison or a canon, so that maybe one would start and then 2 counts later, the other one would start with the same movement. And then 2 more counts later, the third one would start. The jazzy kind of groove of the piece was really, really fun to play with, and the dancers loved it. And our first rehearsal with the band, we all went crazy because we heard the sax. And in the recording we were rehearsing with it, we didn't really have that sense of what it would be like. So everybody, actually, the dancers stopped. We were like, wait, did you hear that? That's so cool. And then we had to catch up again.
We used for this one what is called a lead sheet. It's a rough sketch of what the chord changes are to the song and then what's happening. So this is intro and then verse 1 and verse 2, and scratched in there it says the guitar comes in here and so on. So it gives you a roadmap of what to follow along to and what to play along with. And
Damon, can I insert something?
Yeah, for sure.
This is impossible to read, but these are my notes for Simple Twist of Fate, which is interesting because it's similar. It's divided by time and by character and by like whose point of view I'm tracking.
If you hear in the lyrics, there's a spot where it mentions that a saxophone playing in the distance. And so when that part came up, Rachel actually asked me to foreshadow that and play a little bit before. So there's a saxophone, and then you say, oh, there's a saxophone in the distance. So just some stuff like that was just sort of added off the top.
There's a canon. So they're following each other. They're all doing the same thing at the same time.